Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Anthony Brown Show. So wonderful to be here. I'm joined tonight with my very lovely co-host, Miss Juicy Cakes. What's up, Juicy?
All is well. How are you this evening?
Great. So it's so wonderful to be in your presence once again.
Yours as well. Feeling so worthy.
Okay, we got my water on.
Oh,
I tell you, I've been drinking a lot of water.
listen. Drink another sip for me. Because it's not a water day today.
What you got in your glass? Some wine.
But
Oh,
it's red wine. This is heart therapy.
that's it. That's it. Okay.
And it's from Africa. Give us
Oh,
free.
Wakanda forever.
Yes. I
Yeah. Tonight we're going to be doing a review on Bel-Air. In case you guys haven't known, over on the Peacock streaming channel, the network, they started season 2 of Bel-Air. Um, and last week was season 2, episode 1. It's a weekly series. It's a dramatic series of the television show Will Smith, First Prince of Bel-Air. Well, where First Prince of Bel-Air is the comedy version. Bel-Air that comes on Peacock is the dramatic version, and it's based on real life situations that go on in the world today. So season 1 was awesome and it left you a cliffhanger. And so now season 2 we watched a couple of days ago, and we're going to talk about it tonight. And hopefully you guys will go over and watch it because I can't wait for season 2, episode 2. So did you get a chance to watch episode 1?
Yes.
You
And
did.
and that was it was different for me. So I think I just discovered like in the last hour too. What I watched nobody's seen yet.
Correct. So let me ask you this: did you have a problem separating? Because this is the problem, the issue that a lot of people have when they watch the series, is they're mentally already thinking about the TV show and they're comparing the two. So when they see it, they're like, "Oh, he's not this, or she's not that, or blah 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 blah." And you can't compare the two characters because again, the ones on TV, they're there to make you laugh. The ones on the series, they're there to make you see real life issues and things that happen in the world today that's going around. For example, um, in the series, Hillary is an influencer, a YouTuber. That's something that goes on today. That's something that wasn't going on back when they had the TV series. Um, Carlton, who's dark skinned in the series, Carlton has an addiction to he's addicted to Xanax, which they showed that in season 1. They haven't talked about it too much in season 2 yet, but so that's probably some extra information. But but in season 1, Carlton has a Xanax addiction. Um, in season 1, also Ashley, the young lady that plays Ashley, she was I think in middle school, I believe. So she's going through that stage where, at that age, when you go into middle school, that's like, what, 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there. That's where you're discovering yourself. Your hormones are racing. You're figuring out who you are. And she even had like a a 2 episode, Am I Gay or Am I Not Gay? And she was interested in girls. Um, and it was short lived, but it was a phase she went through. So it even shows homosexuality, lesbianism, and because that does goes on in real life, um, with children. Then that's part of discovering yourself. Wondering, am I not? Will, um, as you know in the TV show, Will's father abandoned him, and Will's father was never in his life. Was never an active role in his life. Um, And even in the TV show, there was an episode where the father showed up at the last minute and was supposedly going to take Will on a long cross the country journey trip with him. And at the last minute, there was a change of plans, and he left him, and that hurt Will, it crushed Will in the TV series. And Will was devastated, wondering why his father don't love him and don't want him and never wanted to be with him. And Will was crying. There was a dramatic episode on a TV show. Well, in the series, they brought that to life with Marlon Wayans. Marlon played his father in season 1, and they some kind of way the guy who plays as Jeffrey, the butler, which they don't call him the butler, they call him the butler on TV, but on here they call him the house manager. So he manages he Jeffrey handles things. So I mean, so so he hires the staff, he hires the gardeners, he hires the maids, he hires the butlers. Um, if something needs to be taken care of or somebody needs to disappear, Jeffrey handles things. So Jeffrey is the house manager. So he handles more than just the family situation, but Jeffrey is the man. So anyway, Jeffrey some kind of way allowed a connection between Will and his real life father in episode 1, in season 1. Um, and as a result of that, the father had an issue with that because he didn't want he didn't want Will and the father to reconnect. Neither did Will's mom or Will's aunt because they know it was going to be devastating to Will. And of course, it turned out to be devastating to the point where it proved that he was a deadbeat. He was no good, and it was not a good meeting. So as a result, Will was again crushed. He was hurt. He was devastated. He was let down, and as a result of that, he was also hurt. Also, that the fact that on Viv, his mother Vi, and um, his uncle did not allow him to even meet. Didn't think he was man enough to meet his father. And so because they lied to him about why they could not meet and why they never met, he ran away. In the episode in season 1, he ran away. So that's why in season 2 you see that when it starts off in season 2, episode 1, that he's not living in the house anymore is because the fact that he ran away in season 1, and he's staying with his best friend, which is Jazzy Jeff, which they call him Jazz. So he's staying with Jazz. And Jazz is his role is he owns a record store. And Jazz and Hillary are on the low, down low dating, um, which is eventually revealed. But you were telling me the other day that your synopsis or you got from Hillary. What did you take from it?
Well, I'm gonna go back to the first one you asked. So, yes, when I first watched it, I was having the expectation that it was going to be like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because the TV show because it was Bel-Air. Watching it, the characters' images were so different.
Right.
So you're explaining to me, you caught me up. I thank you for that because a lot of it was like Carlton, for example, when you were speaking of his drug use, I didn't see drug use in the episode that I saw.
Right.
However, his disposition and character, the way he carried himself, was not the Carlton of the show.
Okay.
So the image I got was that's not Carlton.
Okay. Now the image. Piggyback on what you just the tag onto what you're saying, and I'm gonna allow you to keep going. My image of the TV show Carlton is very nerdy. Um, because he's into Barry Manilow. He's into the white music, jazz.
But
You
he
know,
also was health conscious. So drug use?
now the cartoon on the series, he's also very not in touch with his blackness. That's one thing that's in season one that was exposed. He wasn't in touch with his blackness. He was very much whitewashed. Like the black people or black kids, and not to be stereotypical, but most blacks play like your football, your basketball, run track, those type of things. He was playing like soccer, rugby, the polo team, all the white things that he was the only black person on the teams. So he felt that he fit in. He felt that he was a part of. And when Will came there, Will was like, like bro, get with the program. So Will basically broke him slightly, and you'll see more of that in this season here, season two, where Will kind of like broke him and gave him a reality check that dude, don't think they're looking at you as one of them. You still a nigga. You still black. And then, believe it or not, I mean he's the darkest one because the series Carter is jet black.
Yes. But it's funny because they kept that same scenario
Mm-hmm.
from the TV to the episode, but then they changed up some things. And so interesting. I'm gonna talk on that after we talk on these other things. Now Hillary, I'm glad you explained that she's this is to depict the imaging of today and
Right.
life and what we're going through. So from how I'm gathering,
Mm-hmm.
women today are independent, want to control the relationship and be free and not have, and men are the opposite, like the roles have switched.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that in Hillary's character on the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I what I said to you was, it was to me, TV has the opportunity to paint a picture.
Correct.
And the picture that I was being painted of Hillary with wanting to be on the down low in her relationship until she saw him being attractive to someone else. Now that's envy and jealousy,
Mm-hmm.
insecurity, and it's her friend. She had to blurt out, I don't like it. I don't feel good about this.
Right.
I did not like that. The Hillary from the show is confident, is secure, knows what she wants, and isn't gonna play games about it. If you're with me, you gotta be known that you with me because you gotta carry my bags.
Mm-hmm.
You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
she was truly a boss. Whereas this girl on the episode
Right.
just wanted to be, but
Right.
clueless. She reminded me of like if we gonna match characters, she almost reminded me of the character Clueless, just the black version.
Okay. And I think Hillary on the series, the dramatic series, I think she's definitely confident as far as her career because she knows she wants to be an influencer. See, and the one thing about being an influencer is in season one, her mom and dad didn't really understand where she was headed as far as not like every child, parents want their children to be certain things or go to school, get a good job, get a career. And if you're not doing what the parent wants you to do, then if you're doing anything other than or contrary to what they want you to do, they don't understand it. So especially with modern day technology, with kids growing up being gamers. You know, parents don't understand what's a gamer. You know, what's an influencer? What's a YouTuber? That's not careers that they had back in parents' days. Parents, you know, like I said, went to school to be doctors, lawyers, teachers, you know, whatever, you know. So when Hillary told her parents that she's an influencer, they're like, you know, they didn't understand that. They just like, you know, give up on this dream of this da 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 da, and you'll get a real job. And she's like, it's a real job. It pays money, you know. But again, they didn't understand that in season one, so she had to get them to understand that. So now that in season two, not only does do they now understand what she does, now she's the manager of what they call an influencer house, where everybody that lives in the house have their own YouTube channel, their own social media, and their their own brand, and they're doing their own thing. And so that was new to me, a social media house, you know, influencer house. I know there's influencers. We're influencers. You know, we're on the ATL show every Tuesday and Friday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in. But shameless plug. But nevertheless, you know, so the fact that we're influencers, so I understood what an influencer is, but I didn't understand what a social media house was. So that's something new to us and the parents. You know what I'm saying? So that she was confident in her career and what she wanted to do. And but but like you said, I think yeah, she didn't want it to be known as far as her relationship is concerned, and that's where she fell short of being the same Hillary that's on TV.
But you know, also then when you say it like that too, so on the TV show, Hillary did not like Jazzy Jeff because he was like lower than her
Right.
standard.
Hmm.
So I don't know season one, but did she have that same energy? And that's why he was a secret?
No, not really. Okay, here's the difference. In the TV show, Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince were best friends. In the series, they became friends after he moved to LA. So he moved to LA, and when he got off the airplane and was trying to get a ride from the airport to the mansion, Jazzy Jeff side hustle, I guess, was like an Uber driver or whatever, because he had a little taxi service. In addition to having his own business, he picked up Fresh Prince and drove him to the mansion.
Oh wow.
So that's
Okay.
how they met in season one. He was his ride to the mansion, gave him his card. Because he gave him his card, that's how they established a connection and became friends. So that was different from the TV series to the movie.
Okay. Understood. Understood.
Hmm. So I thought that was quite interesting. But like I said, personally, I like the thing I like about the two things that I really really like about the series of Bel Air is one, unlike typical TV, this the dramatic series shows a lot of dark complected actors and actresses. And I thought that was a plus, because usually when they want to have when they cast black actors and actresses, they're always light skinned, or predominantly light skinned. You know, this one they got the chocolate ones in there, and I love it. You know, 'cause dark people can act too. You know, so show them, and then also the fact that they showed a lot of unknowns, because a lot of these actors and actresses were unknown to me. So I don't know if they're like their first big role, or they were struggling actors or actresses. I don't know, or was doing little small roles prior to this one, but they gave people a chance. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to say. They gave people, because a lot of them came from like Broadway, from musicals, from stage, from theater.
Are
That's
these same actors from one to two?
from season one. Yes,
Yes.
yes. So they're the same ones. And another thing I like about this one too is I don't know if the TV series that Uncle Phil was a part of the fraternity, but I know in this one, Uncle Phil, dark skin, built, healthy, is also a part of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. Because in season one, there's a part where he went with the Alpha fraternities where they were at to try to get their vote because he was running for a councilman or something, and he needed their support. And then the Alphas made a big stink about him. I guess getting his money and then moving on, and then they're not hearing from him no more. So he had to show them that he's still an alpha till he died. And then he broke out with one of the alpha steps and everything, and the little calls and they did their little alpha step, and Phil did his thing. He handled it, and that was very impressive to Fresh Prince because he was there when he witnessed Uncle Phil going through that. Him and Carlton, matter of fact. And so they saw that side of Uncle Phil, and it was very impressive to both of the kids, the both of the boys. So I like that as well.
That brings up something in the character of Carlton, because that was called out about Carlton in the episode that I saw.
That he wasn't black enough.
Well, that he wasn't black enough, but that he came to the Black Student Union meetings to get their votes, and once he got their votes, they never heard from him again.
That's true. They did say that.
And the only reason he was there at that time was because Will took him to get him closer to that girl.
Right.
So it still wasn't even authentic.
Well, he also stated the reason why he didn't come back because, again, they never made him feel welcome.
And he felt that which, now I'm going to go with Carlton on this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of how I even feel about this show or shows, period. For one reason why I probably never watched it before is there other things I feel better I could spend my time on to watch than to watch a sitcom that's going to depict the imaging of false representation of women, because I think women should have a different quality of standard. Now, I mean, as far as not being jealous, not being envious, I'm not speaking on her influencer and all that. I mean, just those infirmities they threw out there amongst the two to bring excitement and entertainment to the show. So I understand the point, but he said, I don't come to you all because the things you all want to argue and like vote on and go after. There's more meaningful causes that we could support and actions that we could be doing as a Black voice than what you all choose to. Who cares about lunch?
And we as the Black Student Union, all y'all do is talk about it, but there ain't nobody doing nothing about it.
Right. And
so I understood exactly where Carlton was coming from, because even in today's society, we march, our feet hurt, we go home, and it still ain't nothing been done.
It's sad, but it's true. We had a show, and we talked about the Black cops.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard anything else once the video was out and it showed other people involved. Ain't nothing else been mentioned about that story.
That's true. We're gonna do some research about that and see what's going on. Bring some light to it.
And it's been a few, I guess, killings or deaths that have been brought to the limelight, and then nothing done of it. Which, like example, you're saying this is like the imaging of what's going on today. There are other TV shows out. Um, I don't know the name. I might be wrong, but it's something about how to get away with murder or something like that.
Mm.
And it's like they taught people how to do things, and now the media or is using them as the example to show the fruit of their work.
Mm.
So with these shows like this one, and then we have our talk show, you help me see the fruit of the work of TV.
Right.
But this one was pretty good. I'm glad. Like I watched it. I'll give it. My children watched it with me.
Okay.
Not my teenager because he wasn't available, but the other ones. And there was the kissing scene when the mother and father kissed.
Okay.
They were comfortable with it
Who was
because
who was comfortable?
my children,
Okay.
like their reaction was they were just because that was a mother and a father, husband and wife kissing.
Mm.
So and then when Hillary kissed Jazz
Mm.
after she said I don't want to be secretive or no, she said I don't want to go to the party with you. But we can meet up afterwards.
Right.
And then I was wondering how she was gonna pull that off. When I saw them there together, I'm like, well, that's wow.
Okay.
But when they saw them, their idea was, ooh, they being grown.
Okay. Because they saw them as kids, right?
And I laughed because he has his own place.
Right.
So I'm like, well, like they have a brother who lives in his own place, who has a girl, they live together. And they tease him about y'all being grown because and so forth. So the message and the connection, I was like, oh wow, okay.
I bet you that was cute.
It was too funny the way they were, like they were watching their brother.
Now, let me ask you this: do you think that the father, I'm sorry, not the father, well, Carlton's father, Will's uncle, Uncle Phil, you think you think he's right, or do you think he's just being too stubborn by not apologizing to Will? Well, he eventually did, but in the beginning he didn't want to apologize. So you think he was being stubborn, or was he, or do you feel that he was correct in not apologizing?
Ooh. So when you're wrong, you're supposed to admit you're wrong. However, his point was he didn't do wrong. He intentionally did what he did. And the reason he did it was to protect Will because he didn't want what happened to happen.
Right.
And what happened that he didn't want to happen happened.
Mm-hmm.
So in his justification, that even more cosigns I was right in doing what I did because all these years I protected him until someone else went against what I did. And so I feel he felt more hurt that Will was subjected to hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and still doesn't see did wrong. Um, I don't think that's wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. I parenting means guidance and protection. And as a parent, and we have a parent can be a biological parent, and that's the one who we got our genetics from. But
Mm-hmm.
they don't have to be the one who raised us. We have social parents as well.
Mm-hmm.
And with his uncle stepping in and being the parent
Mm-hmm.
and the one who took care of Will, he
Mhm.
made the protecting decision as a parent to protect Will from the harm that he could receive. And not everything about a parent is going to be good. Some people do have bad traits and do things that aren't good. And we got to be the one to step in the paint. What if it was more to the hurt that Will receive? What if his father was a rapist or a molester, and he was protecting him? Would he be wrong?
Not at all.
So it's all the same because that's raping someone's mind. That's
Mhm.
raping someone's heart and emotion.
That's true.
False hopes. So I don't see him as wrong. No.
Okay. Now, in season one, which you didn't see season one, but in season one, Jeffrey actually is the one who caused the connection between Will and his father. Um,
And that's why Jeffrey ain't got no job.
and that's why Jeffrey doesn't have a job. So let me ask you this: do you think because of Jeffrey's loyalty to the family and doing things that is out of the realm of his job, just for his love and loyalty to the family, do you think the father was justifiable in firing him?
Yep. If I hire you to do ABC, it ain't no A1, no A2, ain't no A3. That's how I am.
Exactly. I understand what you're saying because if I hire you to do A, B, and C, you can't act in the fatherly role because that's not your role.
Right. And the
This
other part of it
your
too,
role, your role is clearly spelled out.
right. And when you say loyalty, loyalty is to the cause. And the cause is to protect all those that live in this home from anything that could cause harm to them.
Mm-hmm.
Not put your feelings in it, because people will put their feelings in and think, and he said, if I was a father, which Jeffrey said, I'll let my role as a father and with my child get into play. So he's
Mm-hmm.
probably looking at what he wanted out of his son or whatever, and so
Exactly.
other people would want. But that's not your business.
And then that's not what you was hired for.
That's not A, B, C, D. That's not your job
Okay.
description.
That's not
No,
one A.
no. At that point, your loyalty just, you fucked up.
You threw your loyalty out the window and did what you thought was right. But again, yeah, that wasn't your place.
That's like these people at Walmart. If the policies say, and it's written, if it's scanned wrong, you get it for less than or for free or whatever the policy say. You gotta own up to that policy. And a Walmart worker who don't know the policy, they'll be quick to, oh, it was just priced wrong, but that's not what it costs.
Okay, we'll give it to me.
Right. But
Run me
they
that.
don't, but their mind wasn't taught how we were taught. Because and I use Walmart for example, because most of the workers at Walmart are the younger ones,
Mm-hmm.
younger generation. And in the younger generation, they don't see false advertisement as a legality of business.
True.
So when a price is priced incorrectly, they aren't owning it as the company. They owning it as, it costs this what it runs, so this what you pay.
No, boo.
And that's what Jeffrey did. He saw, he's a son, he should see his father. Oh, I know how I could get it. And he made nah.
And I think if Jeffrey felt that way prior to making the decision, he should have gone to Phil.
He should have talked about it. Right. Is this okay? What do you think about this? And then once he got the
Well,
feedback,
actually, he did, and Uncle Phil told him no. And he
then
did it anyway.
then you know who was wrong?
Jeffrey.
Vivian. That heifer shouldn't have opened that door and let that motherfucker back in.
Well,
He,
what The
He
reason
could
why,
have wrote. He could have sent. He could have mailed.
well, when Vivian let Jeffrey, you mean when she let Jeffrey back in?
Yes,
Well, I understand why she let him back in
I
because
do too. But that right there.
she wants them to make peace, crush it, and then become friends again.
So that right there says she wasn't 100 behind her husband's choice either. She was just going on with it because of what he said. But she thought Jeffrey did the right thing. No, we don't. We do not. We do not overlook somebody fucking up. That's what's wrong with things today. We can look at it but you're gonna be held accountable for what you did.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
And
Never let-
and, and, and on my team, that's the security guard witnessing a fight at the club, and he didn't start it, so I'm gonna let him in. But he started it down the street, and the man chased them and ran up and stole them because he finally caught up with him.
Right.
You know, you don't know the scenario. A fight is a fight. Everybody gets thrown out.
Period.
Period. And no questions. You come back. No, Jeffrey should not have been coming to the door, Vivian letting him in to then go to them two together to him saying he wants to talk. Uh-uh. 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 She got to go. She the intruder.
Ooh, you're a tough one. Juicy, driver crazy. Yeah. Oh boy. So anyway, I can't wait to episode 2 on season 2. I'm not sure if it comes on tonight or tomorrow night, but when it does, we're gonna look at it together again, and maybe have your 17-year-old sit down and watch it with us.
I will. He wouldn't mind. I didn't tell him about the show.
Okay.
That I was watching because they know I don't watch TV. So I didn't want them teasing me.
Well, tell them Uncle Tony wanted to watch it.
Do you know how many shows they asked me to watch with them and I don't be watching?
Wow. Well, that's all I have to say about season 2, episode 1. Do you have anything else you want to say or share?
No, we covered it. It was good, and I thank you for bringing me into it.
Definitely. Okay, so we're gonna like I said, I'm gonna scroll through the Peacock network and see if I can find episode 2, season 2. And I'll hit you up and then we'll watch, like I said, we'll view that one, and then you guys tune in definitely next week so that you two can get the next review in case you're not watching it directly on Peacock. So definitely, like I said, if you're new to the channel, definitely go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and tune in definitely next week for another review. And then we also have another show that we do like I said, every Tuesday and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time called the ATL Show. So make sure you tune into that show as well. You know, that show there, you're gonna get the truth, and you're gonna get it from six, 7 different opinions. But we have fun, we laugh, we talk shit, but most of all, we have fun.
We have.
Also, you can find me also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and of course here on YouTube. Juicy, you want to let me know how can they reach you? How can they find you?
They can find me on the ATL show every Tuesday and Friday at 9 p.m. And that's Eastern Standard Time, but it's 9. Tune in. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram and I'm on TikTok. And you got to find out those informations by tuning in every Tuesday and Friday at the ATL show.
That's true. Well, again, thank you guys for tuning in, and see you next time.